Well, hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to Norsewood. The Norsewood Fair is on and this is the road to the Norsewood Fair. Just picking out all the highlights and just showing you the things we look for as we ride through down on State Highway 2. Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Goose. Welcome to my channel, Loose with Goose. Right, as you can see, it's not a big journey, just about an hour or so. And we're starting off from Napier, coming through just to the back of Hastings actually at the moment on the expressway, and making our way out onto the State Highway 2, heading south. The green the hills are starting to get a little bit brown there now, coming around the straights, and be through the Pika wetlands very shortly. There they are on the left hand side. Great place to spend a couple of hours. The next thing we look for is the old derelict house on the hill on the left hand side there. Seen some reports on that, and that certainly saw some happy times. We've got the rest area here on the right hand side, and there's often a coffee truck in there, so looking for a good cup of coffee, it's not a bad place to haul into. And then we're down on the Te Haki Straits. Well, pretty straight. The road used to have a couple of problems. There's a bit of a bump come up shortly. They've actually repaired the road here, but a good friend of mine who took it there with us took a bad spill and spent a few months in hospital there because the bike just kicked out from under it. And passing the normal agricultural machinery and things as we go along, and as we're coming into Te Haki itself, the marae and the cemetery on the right hand side there. On the left, that used to be all swampland, currently leased and or owned by the Brownwood brothers, and they farm it and do a lot of cropping in their very rich peaty soil. And the next little landmark that comes up are the radio towers on the left hand side. The radio shack there, just up by Boundary Road. And then past the Tiati pub. Played a couple of gigs there back in the day. They're very hospitable people there, good country folks. And up the Tiati hill we go, and this is a good chance to, any slow traffic, there's a good passing lane through here, goes for a little way. And the good old truckies just pull over and let you go through, and I do the same for them. If they need to keep momentum going, I'll get out of their way and let them go. And they're coming down around the corner, still at the, and there's a couple of boys coming through. Tiati College there on the right hand side. A lot of All Blacks and politicians and scholars have come through from Tiati College. And just on the left there was Christ's Church, which has been converted now into a cafe. And still staying on the straights, and then we're coming up to Pukeho very shortly. There it comes. A little antique shop and some trailer building and repairs and things going on there. And then we hit this roadworks. This has been going on for quite some time, but they're straightening out the road here with a nice little section, a few silly little corners which got chopped up quite a lot. So once this is done, this is going to be pretty cool. But as you can see, another great day here in Hawke's Bay. So the next stop coming up that we're looking at on the left hand side, there's Otani, and we've been through there a couple of times on the videos, and a good little cafe in there, good little break before riding on. And here's an interesting thing. I didn't think I had this actually on film, but coming up the top of this the hill here, just watch the rev counter, the dial on the right hand side. Come up over the top here, and it just went boom, there it is. No power, nothing. Then it clicked back on again. I don't know what caused it, and it hasn't done it again. So one of those quirky little things. So through the power of editing, we've just gone through Waipawa and Waipukaro, and we're just on the other side on the south side of Waipukaro now heading south. And we're going to be trading one set of plains for another shortly. We've gone through the Tahaki Straits, and now we're going to start coming into the Takapau Plains. But just before that, they've got this beautiful piece of road here, with great service and big sweeping curves. It follows the river around. One of the things to watch for here, just coming up on the left-hand side, is another rest area. And there's often a police car in there with the radar on, so just be a bit careful. They don't take any prisoners around here, I'm afraid. And then we're out into the Takapau Plains proper. The next point of interest coming up here is the daffodil farm. It's just a big massive yellow in early spring. And you can go and buy bucketfuls of it, pick them yourself, and for donations to cancer. And a friend of mine, old Goldie, a long-time biker, he lost his wife to cancer a few years ago, and he organised these rides. There's the gates to it there, out here. We run every year to come out to raise funds for cancer and for hospice. So there's a turn off here into the town of Takapau, which takes its name obviously from the area it was built in. That was a thriving little village. It had the freezing works there, and it's they're closed down. It just virtually killed the town, unfortunately. And there was the next point of interest there. That was Highway 50, just going off to the right hand side, and that would take you back into Napier. See the hills in the distance there. That's the Ruahine Ranges. And although the road stays pretty straight and we're still on the plains, we just start to get a little bit of a change in the geography here. This is the first of a series of gullies that we get. They're quite steep entry points into them, and quite sharp. This one here you've got to be careful of because it's got a reverse camber on it. Can make it awfully interesting if you come in a little bit hot. Great scenery though, absolutely brilliant scenery. Good rolling farmland and interspersed with a lot of mature trees. And you just check out the rear mirror, and you'll see old Moses is pounding away behind me there. He's not very far back. We actually stopped in Waipukurau for a moment to pick up my daughter and granddaughter. They came through in the car with us, so we'll come down to see the fair. So just on the right hand side here there's Anzac Park. And we stayed here a little while. They've apparently really improved it now, but you can camp there overnight and have a good look around the area. On the right hand side, you can see just up here on the hills is there's the sign coming into Norsewood, but that is Upper Norsewood. Where we're heading to is Lower Norsewood, and the main road goes straight through the middle of the town. So we just cut off here. There's a bridge going across the highway there where you turn right to get to the upper village, and you just carry straight on down into the lower. Now these guys, when they first came out here way back in the 1800s, it took them 3 days to get here with their ox carts, all Scandinavian, and the reason they came out initially was to fell the 100-mile bush and to turn this area into farmland and to cut tracks through the bush for the railroad that was just being built. And of course, coming from Viking stock, if they weren't going a Viking, they were farmers, and they're good farmers too, so it didn't take them long to get established here. And here's Lower Norsewood. What actually makes this town very well known now is, of course, Norsewood. So they've got a very, very good line in outdoor clothing, and it's not just your socks and farmer apparel. They've got some very nice fashion wear as well as. So there we go, parked up. The old mailman mightn't have been too happy with us parking in front of all the mailboxes, but there we go. We're parked, that's the main thing. So there's Moses Bandit, and just a little look down the street. Where the flags are there, that's the Norsewood retail outlet. And into the market we go. The people in that stall there were actually come from Napier. And the one on the right hand side just down here, he comes from Napier as well, or Dean. But there's a lot of native plants and the artwork, craftwork, dream catchers, all that sort of thing. Now this guy here is pretty interesting. He's an engineer or an artistic engineer if you want, and he takes all sorts of old things and turns them into artwork or machinery and things like that, like you just saw there. Some fashion wear, some tie-dye. Eddie Brain would have made a fortune down here on the day. But they're pretty spread out. These guys were undercover. And just your normal, a lot of good artwork and craft work. And some very artistic people. Now, one of the things I really enjoyed about this was some old-fashioned candy floss. It was only $3 a packet, and that was really great. And the music was going in the background. The lady there was grooving out to it. It was really good. Now, if you see this little coffee cart anywhere, go and get a cup of coffee from them. It's a good cup of coffee. And there's the old fat fella, the old fat jolly man, all masked up. But then we went to the blacksmith shop, and that was an absolute treat. There he is there, nice guy, and I wouldn't call him a tradesman, I'd call him a craftsman or an artisan. His work is absolutely stunning. I'll just have a look at some of the work there, and if you're passing again in Norsewood, hop in and say hello and just look at what he's got there. I love that, the old Celtic cross and the sword running through the back of it just to back it up. But look at this work, fabulous stuff. There's your drinking horns, and I presume that's a skull to drink out of. All those little trolls there, they all look like Keith Richards. I don't know if he modelled for them or not. But anyway, we left there and then came up to the top village, and there's the old pub there. Played a couple of gigs there and back in the day too. And again, people here are very hospitable. There's your village store, or like a little dairy. You can get fuel there, so that's good. Further down there where that white van is, there's a cafe, and it's a pretty good cafe too. And the community there, and the public loo, and there's old Moses getting back to his bandit. And then they've got this modelled longbite drecker, I presume it would be, if that's the right way to say it. But yeah, they've got it in there, and just to bring it back from their roots. So there we go, folks. If you like it, subscribe, leave a like and leave a comment. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to ride free. And of course, God bless.